Okay, folks, Captain Paul here. Good morning from the Florida Keys, where I live full-time on my 45-foot trawler with my twin brother, Pete. This is a marine trader, Europa-style trawler, for you guys that don't know. Anyway, today we're going to talk about captain's license. Is it important to have one? When do you hire one? And things like that, because I think a lot of people have this feeling that if you have a captain's license, you can drive a boat, and that's not true at all. Anybody can pass a test. I was talking to Barry, a strong follower of the channel, and by the way, Barry, he went and looked at he's in the market to buy a boat, and he went up to, looked at there was a main ship 400 listed at for 279. It was up somewhere in Connecticut, I think, somewhere up there. Anyway, you just look up Boat Trader and it'll pop right up. Anyway, and he went and looked at that. It had like 0 time on a brand new Yanmar engine. Anyway, he passed on that boat because, just because somebody puts a new engine in their boat doesn't mean. I mean, it means a lot, and that having that brand new Yanmar in there, could be. But if if everything else in the boat is deferred maintenance, it really doesn't make any sense. He said that it's the broken tank on the Blackwater, the air conditioners didn't work, the refrigerator didn't work, and so where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying? Like it's way overpriced already, and then so he passed on the boat, and but we were talking about our captain's license, and I was brought up to him, would you pay somebody, if you had the money and you wanted to do America's Great Loop and you don't have the knowledge of owning one of these boats and navigating these waters, would you hire a captain? He goes, well, for me, he equates it to like climbing Mount Everest. You spend all the time, and it's all about the focus and energy of you actually accomplishing something. So his opinion is, no, I wouldn't hire anybody. I wouldn't hire a captain. And I said, well, for the people that can hire captains, I don't think it's a bad idea, because a lot of when you're learning to drive these boats, especially now that I've been out here for over a year now. Had my 1-year anniversary last month, actually, at Little Palm, and driving these boats and really starting to learn the weather patterns and the currents and what affects, if the current's flowing one way, the waves are doing this. If the current's flowing the other way, it's perfectly smooth out there. And you really, current will always affect 10 times worse than any type of wind will. But you got to really start to trust those instincts and really hone those skills in. And it takes a lot of practice. And also, like when I did America's Great Loop, I've been around there twice now. It's, you get to know the marinas, you get to know the stops and stuff like that. So there's advantages to it. But he's right in the sense that, if you're doing this, if you go out and buy your boat, this is why very few people actually complete the loop. They say, I don't know, the number is somewhere around $2,000, $2,200 people a year attempt the loop, and about 200 will finish the loop a year. And that number is probably about right. And that's because of, some people, like I've said this before in other videos, they don't like the tides, the tidal changes up in the Carolinas and Georgia and stuff like that. And some people don't like the river system, and some people don't like the Great Lakes, and some people, don't like, whatever reason, the crossings and the open ocean stuff, because you got to do that a few times, and it gets to them, and it is a lot, especially for your first time boaters. If you watch my video from the first time, I'll try and link it on here. From the first time I was going across in Loop Princess, I was very, 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 very nervous. Now that I've done it 10, 15 times, I'm not so nervous. Hey, and for the record, if Blue Max is for sale, Mike, we're actually going to list it on Boat Trader this week, actually. And but if it doesn't sell, we're going to take it up to I think it's Decatur, Alabama, or somewhere up there. Anyway, it's about a 10-day trip, and I think we're going to do that June 1st. And I think I'm going to be on the boat to captain it and take it across, and I'm going to do a 500-mile, I think it's 550 miles. We jump out right here. We're going to throw the birds in the water, and we are going to just let that thing just set the autopilot and head right on over to Mobile Bay from Marathon right here. So it'll be 500, be my longest open ocean crossing that I've done. I've done a couple close, but I've never done a 3-day or a 550 mile in one of these 7-knot trollers, so it'll be my first one. So I'm a little bit excited if it does happen. We'll see what happens. Anyway, and a big part of being able to do something like that is knowing the weather, knowing and being able to look at those apps and being able to decipher what's going to happen out there, when it's going to happen, and stuff like that. And also knowing there's a shelf out there in that particular water, and you got to get past that shelf. The water changes from each level of water, and it takes a while to really get to know that. Anybody can pass your captain's license test, anybody, but it does not mean you can drive a boat. It's just you took a written test and you passed it. So it takes many years. It's just like flying an airplane. Are you going to get in an airplane and think that after taking a few lessons, 10 hours of lessons, that you're some badass pilot? No, it takes all kinds of training. It takes, just you got to dedicate your life to it if you want to be good at it. And that's kind of where I'm at as far as, the kind of experience that I get at Little Palm is unbelievable, because we don't stop in any weather conditions. So weather conditions that I would never even consider taking my boat out in is weather that we go out in, because I'll drive the ferry in 40 knots of wind. I'll drive it in 50 knots of wind. It doesn't matter. And then being able to make the decisions, because there's a lot of information going on all the time. You got boats around you, you got current, you got wind, you got weather, and you got to be able to decipher all of this information. You got your chart plotters, your radar, everything, and right in front of you, and you've got to be able to decipher all of that information and make good choices when you're out there on the water. So I believe, for the people that can, I say yes, God bless you, do it. But most people that purchase boats are a different breed of people, and they're I don't know, I want to say like self rewarding, or they're out there because they've earned the right to be on the water. And most of them, I will call them survivors, let's say, because I do think you have to be a survivor to be out here. So that guy that no matter what happens, he figures it out. And that's whether it's in the engine room, whether it's navigating on your charts, whether it's, driving the boat. You guys, a lot of us, we're really good at that, and we can make quick decisions, and a lot of times we'll make good decisions, but there are times that we do all make bad decisions, and sometimes, it's how bad of a decision did I make and how much damage did I do. As long as I didn't hurt anybody else's boat or anybody else's property, it's all good. As long as a little scratch on my boat isn't a big deal, at the end of the day. And it's going to happen. It happens to all of us. I don't care. Even on these boats that we drive for Little Palm here, we have like 4 different boats that we drive as captains. And once in a while, man, that wind or that current will catch you, and it just catches you off guard, and next thing you know, you hit the dock wrong and you got a little scratch down the side of the boat. It's happened to all of us. There's nobody innocent from that, and you just got to accept it and move on. But anyway, so like I said, the guys that really want to get out on the water, and if you do not, I was out in that 65-foot Marquise the other day, and I'm in there thinking, wouldn't it be nice if somebody, somebody that bought this boat that didn't know a whole lot about boating. Now that one has joysticks, it has everything. I'll take you inside the boat here for a second. So with some training, like, anybody could drive that boat, but you still don't know, like out here in the Florida Keys, we just had a big grounding the other day. It was like a $14 million yacht, and they were trying to come in, and they just didn't know the area well enough, and they ran aground. So that's another. Even if you're a good captain. Sorry, I'll step back here. I don't want to ramble. Barry accused me of rambling in the last video. But anyway, even if you even if you do know how to drive the boat, and a lot of captains, you'd be surprised how many captains have paid me to take their boat because I know the local waters. We know the area, and it keeps them from running aground. So when you want to run your $500,000, $2 million yacht, and you're really uncertain about a certain area, especially the Florida Keys, because there's a lot of shallow spots here in the Florida Keys, and you really got to know the waters and what you're looking for, and know how to read those charts and stuff like that. Key Colony is a perfect example over here. I've had to take the Ranger in and out of there, and I could take shortcuts, I can, but I don't know them, so I have to go all the way around to the channel markers, go in and out through the channel markers. But some people will try and make those cuts, and they run their boats aground, and it happens every day out here in the Florida Keys. Anyway, I hope the video, you found it informative. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, please, if you haven't already. God bless you. Peace out. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And leave your comment down below. What do you guys think about captain's license? How many of you guys have them? And then how many of you guys want to go get them? And how many of you guys would hire a captain to take you around boating? Anyway, peace out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.